welcome back to AWS On Air. I'm Jasmine Kyles, one of your hosts here, and I am joined today by my friend Jeff.
Hey everyone, we are back here in Las Vegas. We are live this year on the expo floor. You can see everyone behind us. But hello, my name is Jeff Mershak. I'm a senior solutions architect on our DoD Air Force team. Jasmine, thanks for having me. But the most important people are our guests here, Kevin and Michael from Connect. We're going to hear some new stuff about Connect. Will you guys introduce yourselves?
Sure. Kevin Ma, I'm Director of Product Management for Amazon Connect. Been doing this almost 7 years now since we first externalized the product, and been lucky enough to keep doing it ever since.
Yeah, my name is Michael Goligorsky. I'm a Senior Solution Architect specializing in Amazon Connect. Been with AWS for close to 3.5 years. So glad to be here.
So when we talk about Connect, what's interesting, I like to hear that it was 7 years, because I guarantee you, I've been with AWS 3.5 years. 7 years ago, I did not know Connect existed. So that's really cool that it's been in the works for that long. But this year, we've been talking about generative AI. And it sounds like we're going to hear about some new features with Connect. And you would think, when I first read this, before the first 10 seconds of thinking, I'm like, what does generative AI have to do with Connect? A call center kind of managed software to help call centers. But then you start thinking, oh, well, there are some advanced features of deciding what a caller is wanting to do before they even talk to someone, deciding if they're feeling good about this call or they're mad. And then I started to think, oh yeah, I could see where AI ML can come into play, but I'm excited to hear where generative AI can come into play. And it sounds like that's what we're going to hear about today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, bringing AI to the contact center is something we've been doing since the very beginning. It's kind of what made us who we are. I think this was actually the externalization of an internal product that we built to do customer service for Amazon.com. That was 15 plus years ago.
And that's a story that we tell a lot with other different products as well. It's something that Amazon built, and hey, this makes sense.
Yeah, and so our senior leadership like to say, you guys are like the dog that caught the fire truck. Man, it became one of the fastest growing products in AWS history, and AWS is a pretty fast growing business, and so for us to be at the top tier of that was certainly something special, and I just feel blessed that I was lucky enough to be some smart part of that over the past 7 years.
Great. So can you? There's a lot of features here. Can we? Let's start talking about them.
Yeah, let's get to the good stuff. So generative AI has certainly got people excited about bringing AI to the contact center. Like you said, like when you think about it, it just makes sense. The way we approach bringing AI to the contact center is doing it in ways that apply real business value, and certainly using the learnings that we had from Amazon.com and the ways to do that to kind of give the best ROI for businesses. So we have a lot of experience bringing AI in, and generative AI has really gotten people kind of excited. Like, it's opened up their minds, and we've been able to do AI for a long time, but now the barrier to entry is lower, and the value is higher, and people can kind of understand how it all goes together. So we launched 7 things, I think, today. A bunch of them as part of Adam's keynote. The first was the Amazon Queue for Amazon Connect, and really that gives agents these generated answers that have all the context and understanding of what's going on to say, this is exactly how you help this customer in this situation right now. We have another one that generates these beautiful, concise summaries of the contact. So if you're transferring the call to a supervisor, you can quickly get them caught up on what's going on, or they can look back and understand what's happening. And all of these things are saving seconds or minutes off of every contact. When you run a contact center as large as Amazon's with like 100 and something thousand agents, like minutes or seconds translate into millions of dollars of annual savings. So we start to see the value really quickly.
Well, I like that example of, you can to see customer history, maybe the last 10 calls that they've made. That's one thing to see, and then you have to look at each bullet and see what was the result of each one of those calls. But a generative AI kind of summarization of those 10 calls, maybe in 4 bullet points, saves seconds. And that's a great example.
So I'll try not to steal too much of the thunder. Michael's going to show a killer demo of all this stuff, but I'll fire off the other ones quickly. We improved the bot building performance of generative AI. We improved the ability to map data and understand your customers better. We launched the ability to send SMS messages. We launched a VoIP-based web calling interaction. We did a zero ETL analytics data lake solution, and we launched a bunch of pre-built dashboards, and a bunch of those you're going to see right now.
Cool, yeah, let's bring up your desk.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with the demo. So before we get going, I want to set the stage on what you're about to see. So Kevin just described so many different things. And what you're going to see how Amazon Connect delivers superior customer experience. To set the stage, I want to walk you through really quick 3 personas. You have Nikki. She is the customer for any company financial. She was in the process of booking her travel because she needed to attend the conference. And she realized that her credit card got declined. She needs to resolve this as soon as possible. Switching gear, we have John. Today is his first day on the job answering calls. John came from other company that and he was extremely frustrated. There was lack of tools, lack of processes, and he had to go to many different applications just to complete a simple transaction. On top of that, one of the benefits for working in any company financial, if he provides and closes the successful conversion, think of upsell, cross-sell, maybe switching customer to a new credit card, he has a potential to earn an additional bonus. And lastly, we have a Diego. He's a supervisor. He been with any company financial for a very long time. He oversees thousands of interactions every single day, and he's responsible not only to ensure the CX and customer experience deliver in concise manner, but he also want to make sure that because we're dealing with financial products, everybody making sure that all the transactions are adhering to the company policies. And when something does go wrong, he wants to take an immediate action. So let's take a look at what that experience looks like for Nikki. So Nikki was trying to make a travel reservation. She got a notification, an app notification, saying that her transaction got declined, and she logged in to any company financial portal. And as a customer, she's like, I need to resolve this as soon as possible, but I'm not looking forward trying to find the phone number, calling somebody, being on hold. But her to delight, she sees a chat widget. And as we can see, not only we were able to greet Nikki by her first name, the next best action for Nikki was asking, hey, are you contacting us about the client transaction? And Nikki will go ahead and say, yeah, that's exactly why I'm trying to contact you. The virtual agent was able to greet Nikki by her first name, got the context, hey, if you're calling about the transaction, you don't have enough credit on your credit card. And was able to ask Nikki, hey, I can fix that for you. Let me raise the credit.
And also, was that declined credit or declined transaction brought up specifically because it saw that she had a declined transaction?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right at the time of the contact.
Yeah.
Next best action. This is why I can anticipate why you're calling me or why you're contacting me about. So Nick is going to say, yeah, that works. I need to get this thing done right away. And she said, yeah, please go ahead and raise the limit increase. Kevin talked about digital channel, talking about proactive SMS outreach. So Nikki just got a notification on her phone, a text message saying, hey, before I'm going to start raising credit, I want to make sure you are who you say you are. And in this case, Nikki provides virtual assistant with the one-time password and say, yep. And bot was able, or virtual assistant was successfully completed the transaction. Not only that, the bot recognized, and the virtual assistant was able to recognize that Nikki's using this credit card for travel. So, by the way, Nikki, would you like me to offer you a new product? Because it will probably be a better credit card choice for you. Not only that, it actually, because it's an opportunity not only to improve Nikki's travel experience, but it's also an opportunity for the bank to provide a better product and provide upsell, cross-sell opportunity, in this case, a new credit card. In order for this opportunity not get lost, we also providing an immediate assistant. By the way, would you like to talk to the live person right away? And I'm going to start switching gear, and I'm going to ask, yes, please transfer me to the agent, and we're going to start looking on what the agent experience look like on the other side.
Now, are we going to talk to our second persona that you introduced us to earlier?
Yes, absolutely. So let's take a look at what that agent experience looked like. So John, now I'm switching gears. I'm an agent, and I'm going to try to resolve Nikki's problem. Remember, in the beginning, it's his first day on the job.
Lots of tools, kind of confusing.
Yeah, that's how it used to work in other company.
Yeah.
I had to open up a whole bunch of homegrown application. I need to switch screens. I need to figure out what to do. But in this particular case, if you look at my screen, everything that I need to know about Nikki is in a single pane of glass. I can see her membership. I can see all the entitlements. And by the way, I can see all the transactions, including cases, contact history, so I can better resolve this issue.
Now, coming from a selfish point of view, I wish more companies would do just this, so I didn't have to regurgitate all of it. But that's just sorry.
Are you telling me you don't want to be on hold for a
No.
foreseeable future
You're
until I look up your information?
You're absolutely right. That I had just typed in
Awesome.
on the keypad. But no, this is great.
Yep, so now let me accept that chat. And as an agent, not only that I can see the conversation or the question that Nikki is asking me about, I can see the conversation that Nikki had with virtual assistant, so I can fully review what happened up to now. And Kevin just talked about Amazon Q in Connect.
Yeah.
It's like having the best 10-year agent sitting next to me, providing me an answer.
Yeah.
So it was able to read the transcript and able to recommend a response to say, this is the solution that you should tell the customer, and this is how you can respond. So instead of me trying to type in the response, I can just accept this, and right from my Amazon queue, I can respond immediately to the customer. So in this case, say, yep, can you change my credit card to that, right? I'll be happy to help you. And Nikki replies, yeah, I would like to take this offer.
Tell
Again,
me about that thumbs up, thumbs down. What does that do?
so you can also provide a feedback to generative AI model to say, look, is that something that's useful to me or not? And then supervisor will have ability to review things that comes out potentially with thumbs down to see if there's any changes that we potentially need to make. Continue right along. So again, I'm going to click and say, hey, I can make the change for you. Please give me a moment. And again, in traditional contact center, the conversation would be, can I put you on hold
Yes.
for 5 minutes
And
while I make this change? And
John's going to have to open up another application on his
Spot on.
machine. Hopefully, it loads relatively quickly, and then log into that, and et cetera, et cetera. Yes.
But we can do even better than that.
Yeah.
So using a step-by-step guide, it's a guided experience, we can have a prescriptive guidance on what to do and how to perform this transaction. So in my screen, I can see offers. I was able to click on offers. I was able to go through the steps to complete that transaction. Again, think a single pane of glass to do everything that we need. My
Boom.
credit card was successful, and I'm going to exit the guide. And by the way, I'm going to tell Nikki that I'm done. What do you think? Better than putting you on hold? And for
Oh,
Absolutely.
you too,
absolutely.
I heard you like that music, and that's something that you look forward to spending your time.
Well, that on-hold music's only good for jokes and slack between our coworkers, not in real life, not when you're
Absolutely.
really on hold. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think generative AI is really making these kind of self-service and automated experiences from clunky, awkward ones into ones that are actually exciting. Like if this is the kind of customer experience I had, I would do this all the time, and I wouldn't jam zero to talk to an operator.
Right.
Yep. So again, switching gear a little bit, we have Diego, who's the supervisor. He oversees a lot of things at scale. So as a supervisor, I have all the business KPIs in front of me. I can see what's happening with my contact center. I can see what's happening with my queues. Do I need to potentially anticipate any type of inflow of contacts? All that information available to you in near real time, and I can make action. Now,
Yeah, because Diego he's in charge of John, basically.
That's
to
right.
make sure to see, is John doing well with his calls? Are they within the SLA, et cetera, et cetera? So not only everything you just said, but responsible for how the whole floor is working.
yeah, but here's how we're fundamentally changing how this particular the job of supervisor is being completed. Using AI, we, instead of looking and reviewing and cherry picking a handful transaction, 1 or 2 calls per month, we are able to deliver next best action. Think of it as the next best action for the supervisor. So if we look, in my case as a supervisor, I get a notification saying, you need to take a look at this particular agent because there might be some issue that requires your attention. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this task. And now, using generative AI, I don't have to listen to a 15, 20-minute conversation. Using generative AI, it has a summary to say, customer wanted to find out about travel, reward, credit card, agent provided all the needed information and successfully converted. I can also look at things at the customer sentiment throughout the conversation. I can look at the transcript, I can play back the conversation. But here's an interesting thing that I see. We also were able to detect that no disclosure was provided to the customer. So John did an excellent job. However, being a new agent, that's something that he forgot about it. So now, as a supervisor, I can actually go ahead and create that evaluation. I'll fill out all the information that was captured from this call. And I can also go ahead and go to scheduling capabilities within Amazon Connect. And I can set up some time with John, who's my agent, and set up a conversation where we can say, look, you did an outstanding job performing all necessary transaction, but there's a coaching opportunity. I'm going to provide you with a real example, and we want to make sure that disclosures are not missed. And that's a conversation that we're going to have with him after this call. So as you can see now, using different channels, using the capabilities with outbound outreach, using personalized IVR that creates dynamic personalized experiencing, using generative AI, all those things coming together to provide delightful experience, not only for the customers, but for the agent and the supervisors. Everybody wins.
You know, you might think that this is some demo that Michael had to write a lot of code and do a lot of work to put together. This is honestly something you all can go to your AWS account, go to Amazon Connect, go spin it up and try it. Like, you can get going with all these things in minutes. And that's what was so differentiating out about our product when we started. We empowered customers to innovate, change their customer experience, really focus on defining their brand and what they want to do and get the tech out of the way. And of course, being able to scale to obscene levels in the way that AWS does.
Well, any experienced IVR engineers know IVR is hard, but it's very mission critical or business critical, and it has to work because you're talking to your customers. So anything that makes that easier is a win.
So I think you brought up an excellent point, and maybe, Kevin, you can kind of talk through. We focus a lot on agent, supervisor, and the customer's experience, but we also made it easier for contact centers, administrators to build those experiences. Can you talk about the new capabilities that we recently launched to help contact center administrators to create experiences like this?
Yeah, so part of it is some of the dashboards and the things that Michael showed, where you just get these beautiful dashboards out of the box. You shouldn't have to configure and get the underlying data for your reports, which you can do. A lot of our customers do like to operate at the API layer. But it's also the generative AI stuff to kind of assist the bot creation process. You talked about how hard it is to be an IVR designer. For us, it's a drag and drop editor. And even from there, if you do need to write a code to interact with some back office system, that's where things like Amazon Q can come in. And it's like, I'm already aware of this context. I know how to interact with the credit card upgrade API, and I can just make this as simple as a drag and drop experience for you.
Yeah, and I can see how some folks who have not done contact centers before might see this and be like, oh, that's cool. But it's those IVR designers that have been doing this for 20 years who have built IVR systems from the ground up. They're like, I wish I could have done that 20 years ago. Like, I could imagine. People are like, wow, this is amazing. So we're getting close on time. Thank you very much for being here. Is one last call to action, where to go? I mean, you said that demo, or customers can go and play with it. Where should people go look for more information?
Either search Amazon Connect and you'll find it on the AWS website, or if you have an AWS account, I really love trying. Just go play with it. It's my favorite thing to do. There's so many cool things. I set up one, where if my wife calls me, it recognizes her phone number, it goes through. Anyone else, it just hangs up. So there's tons of fun things you can do like that.
Nice. Well, this was awesome. Thanks so much for the demo. We'll definitely have to have you back on another show, because I'm sure you could talk for hours and hours about all these Gen AI features, but it was super interesting. So thanks again for being here, and we hope that it's a great reinvent for you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.